In what seems like an event that happens every single week at the moment, there's a new Chinese brand in town. This one is called Aion, and they are kickstarting their UK arrival by launching an electric mid-sized SUV. Hurrah! Because of course we haven't got enough of those, have we? So what makes this Aion V different from all of the other electric mid-sized SUVs available from brands such as Kia and VW, not to mention the Chinese brands that have already been here for the past 12 months? I think it's time we found out, don't you?
Right then, first things first, what on earth is Aion? Well, it's part of GAC, one of China's biggest automotive groups, and while it may be new to us, it's already a major player in its home market. It builds cars under a variety of brands, such as Trumpchi and Hypetech, and has joint ventures in China with Honda and Toyota. GAC has decided to use its Aion brand to start its assault on the UK market. The V is the first to arrive and will be quickly followed by the electric UT hatchback, which is an MG4 rival, and later a larger SUV. Aion has also promised a range of hybrids and range extenders.
One thing I do like about the exterior styling is that it does look like a small SUV. It's got a rugged, chunky quality to it. There are some styling quirks to it, such as these headlights here, which Aion call Cyber Dragon Claws. No, not me either. But along the side, I don't know about you, but I get a mini Countryman vibe. What with the whole dimensions and the squat roofline and this kind of detailing here. And then the rear lights, got a bit of a KGM look to them, haven't they? I don't know, it's kind of inoffensive looking, a little bit forgettable, but it does look premium. What do you think? It just feels like every single new Chinese car I get into these days, the interior is identical, same design, massive touchscreen in the middle of the dashboard, 2 places here to store your phone, 2 cup holders, enormous centre console. Where's the originality? Where's the creativity? Let's start off with that touchscreen, shall we? Again, it's very similar to the design that you find in a BYD or Elite motor. There is a row of controls along the bottom, the most used controls. The menus, you do have to do a lot of prodding to find exactly what you want. The one thing I will say about it though is the software is very quick and the screen is very clear. Now let's just talk about practicality for a moment. The door bins are of a pretty decent size, enormous area down here to put bags and what have you, but there is no glove box in this car. What you get instead are 2 bag hooks. Don't know why, but it could be quite useful, couldn't it? But this car's pièce de résistance lies under here. Now, if you go for the £1,495 premium pack, not only do you get leather seats, but you get a special treat under the armrest. It is a cool box and a hot box. Yes, seriously. You can store items in here, such as your takeaway. You can keep it warm up to 50 degrees C. Or if you'd rather transport a box of cornettos, this box will go all the way down to minus 15 degrees. Absolutely extraordinary. But the sense of quality in here is absolutely superb. It's not just good for a car that costs less than £40,000, but good full stop. I love all of the materials in here. The stitching is incredibly good. Nice little design details like these door handles here. And would you look at this? We've got a round steering wheel, not some square-shaped monstrosity that you tend to find in so many new cars these days.
Equipment levels are extraordinarily good. There's only one specification with that optional pack I mentioned earlier, and the standard equipment list includes heated and ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, a panoramic roof. Well, the list just goes on and on.
Would you look at the amount of space back here? It is huge. This seat is set up in my driving position. I'm just over 5'10", and look at the amount of knee room I've got. Headroom is very good as well, despite the glass panoramic roof we've got. And this is something I really like. It's brilliant for families. Look how wide these doors open. That's a full 90 degrees, making loading those child seats very, very straightforward. Speaking of child seats, there are ISOFIX points, of course, under this Velcro flap. And if you go for that aforementioned premium pack, £1,495, not only do you get the hot and cool box, but you get this, a weird little table with this scissor mechanism. It's the kind of thing you find in a Bentley, isn't it? Although I'm not quite sure why it's only on the passenger side and not over here. Bit of an odd one, that. Talking about odd things, not entirely sure why there's a USB-A port down there, not a USB-C port. And I haven't told you about this car's party piece yet, have I? Now, there are two different seating configurations in this car. There's rest mode, which turns the climate control to a certain setting, closes the roof blind, particularly good if you want a quick nap. Or there's lounge mode, which turns the entire car into a bed.
Boot space is okay. At 427 litres, it's around 40 litres smaller than a Skoda Elrox boot. Fold down the rear seats and there's 1,638 litres, and the 3-level floor system is handy even if the rear wheel arches eat into the overall space.
The Aion V has only one battery at launch. It's a 75.3 kilowatt hour pack, and it has something called GAC's Magazine Battery 2.0 technology. Now, apparently the packs are all tightly packed together, so they're all nice and cozy, but more importantly, GAC say this is the first battery pack that not only passes the nail penetration test, the famous nail penetration test, but also it's passed a bullet impact test. So this car and battery should be perfect for downtown Cotswolds.
Aion claims a range of 317 miles, and it also gets 400 volt electrical architecture, an 11 kilowatt onboard charger, and 180 kilowatt DC charging capacity, which is pretty impressive compared to rivals. All of this means a 10 to 80% recharge will take around 24 minutes. The Aion V also gets a heat pump and vehicle to load, plus there's also a handy app, so you can control the car's charging while you're sitting on the sofa and watching Midsummer Murders.
The first feeling I get from this Aion V is it feels incredibly refined. Now, this feeling of quality you get from the car's interior just translates to the driving experience. The windows are double glazed or double thickness glass. It's a very quiet car to drive, and even when you run over potholes, you don't hear the suspension rattling around. It just feels very, very refined. Speaking about the ride, for the most part, the ride is a little bit pattery, never really kind of settles down. But hit a pothole in this car and it just glides over them. I mean, the ride quality in general is pretty extraordinary. And it doesn't translate to really floppy and lolloping body roll either. It just feels pretty well sorted.
At launch, there's only one power option, a 204 horsepower motor that powers the front wheels. It serves up 0 to 62 miles an hour in 7.9 seconds, which is perfectly acceptable in a family-sized SUV like this, although you do have to be careful exiting corners. Push the throttle too far into the carpet, and even on dry roads, the front wheels have a tendency to spin up. Aion has priced the V at just under £36,500, so it's not aggressively undercutting the more well-known players like the Skoda Elrox and Kia EV3. And unlike other Chinese brands such as Leapmotor and Geely, Aion won't be offering its own version of the government's electric car grant. Aion thinks these grants get confusing. Instead, it's making things simple with a package that includes an 8-year warranty, 8 years servicing, 8 years AA roadside assistance, and free MOTs for, you guessed it, 8 years.
I'm going to be honest with you, this isn't the most exciting new EV that I've driven this year. But the Aion V does have a lot going for it. It is very spacious inside, it's very well equipped, and it's well priced. So on account of all of that, has GAC done enough to convince you? Let me know what you think in the comments box below.